Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I figured I'd take a break from vlogging today and instead do a more chill video, talk to you guys about my experience so far working at Amazon. You guys seem to like my Amazon videos, so I figured I'll film another one, tell you guys what I like about it, what I don't like about it. If you're thinking about applying at Amazon and working there, hopefully this video helps you out. So I made a pros and cons list on my phone about certain topics that I like and don't like, so we're just gonna go through it all, starting with the pros. First thing that I have is that it's easy work. Currently, I am a packer. Super easy. Grab a cart, scan it, scan the items, put it in a box, tells you exactly which box that you need, tells you exactly what to scan, pack it, and then put it into the conveyor belt. Very simple, does not require any thinking at all. The second thing I have is the pay. I think it has decent pay. It's definitely not the best and it's definitely not low. It's right at the middle. I think right now they're starting at $16 an hour, but that also depends on your schedule. In my specific facility, overnight people tend to get paid a little bit more than the people who work during the mornings. So it really depends on your facility. And just to clear this up, my pros and cons list is based on my facility. It could be different for you. It could be better, it could be worse. You could have a stricter building, but some buildings don't really care as much. Number 3, they have great benefits. I don't specifically remember all of them, but I know that you get eye care, medical. They also have mental health lines, 401k. You can search all those up on the website, which I'll link down in the description. Number 4 is having a good schedule. You work 4 days a week for 10 hours. I know for some people that's really long, but on the bright side, you're only working 4 days a week. Obviously the schedules vary, but from what I've heard, they have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, which is what they call the donut shift. And then they also have, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There could be more, but that's what I've heard so far. Number 4 is the breaks. I like how I go in, work for 3 hours, take a 30-minute break for lunch, come back, work for another 3 hours, take another 30-minute break, and then this one is paid. Right now with COVID, I'm pretty sure all the facilities are doing it on a schedule. I heard that before you get 2 15-minute breaks that you could take whenever you want, but right now they are trying to limit the people in the cafeteria, obviously, and the break rooms, so there aren't too many people there at once. Another pro is if you shop on Amazon a lot, like me, you get a 10% discount. I know it doesn't sound like a lot. We don't get Amazon Prime for free, if you're wondering. But you know, $1, 2, 3, maybe more, depending on what you're buying. I feel like it's a great difference. I could use that dollar for something else, you know? Another thing is that we get paid weekly. We get paid on Fridays every single week. PTOs, this is paid time off. You get time as you're working. I'm not completely sure how it works. Like, I don't know how much time you get for the amount of hours that you work, but you can use this to maybe come into work an hour later, leave work earlier, or maybe take a day off if you have enough for that. So far, everyone that I've met is really nice, very helpful, especially during my first and second week. They were just showing me around on what to do, how to not overwork myself, and stuff like that. Another pro is that there's basically no dress code. You could basically wear whatever you want. Obviously, it has to be appropriate. And the last thing on my list is something that they added recently, which is they pay, I think, 95% of your tuition if you're working full-time at Amazon. Plus, they will work around your school schedule, so they could give you a schedule to where you could go to school and also work at Amazon. So I think that's a great benefit. Right now, I am seasonal, so I don't get any of those benefits, but when I do, if I do transfer to a blue badge, then that's definitely a good perk. Now, on to the cons. First things first is that you're on your feet, constantly moving for 10 hours. The work is very repetitive. You're doing the exact same thing that it could get boring sometimes. And in my facility, we are not allowed to wear headphones, so all you hear is the beeping sounds of when you scan items. Another thing is that since it is a fast-paced environment, it gets pretty hot. I don't know, I don't think they have AC. Pretty sure they just keep it room temperature, so when you're moving around a lot, lifting heavy things, it gets really hot. And that's another thing, by the way. You will be lifting a lot of heavy items like cat litter, dog food, pounds of paper. You guys, I did not know cat litter and dog food could get that heavy, but it does. It's definitely something to consider, especially if you're not used to it. If you're strong and you go to the gym and you lift a lot, then good for you. But if you're skinny, don't have much muscles like me, then you might want to consider it. Okay, so along with it being fast-paced, you also have rates that you need to hit. For my facility, singles is 60 items, and I think multi's like 120. But let me just say, not everyone hits it. Our average is like 50, maybe even 48, 45 sometimes. Another con is the turnover rates are very high, especially for younger people. I'm 21, and let me just tell you, it's very rare for me to meet someone that are in the same age range as me. Most people are like 26 and over. There's a lot of people in their 40s, mid 40s. I think I've only really met 1 or 2 people that are around my age. Another thing is that the job could get exhausting. Like I was talking about earlier, it's fast paced, you're always moving, you're always doing something, which sometimes could be a good thing for some people, but 10 hours of doing that could be a lot. We get into work at 7:30, leave at 6 p.m. We don't really have much time after work to, you know, enjoy ourselves, have like a good work and life balance, because I get home exhausted, my feet hurt, very tired because I don't get enough sleep from the night before. So I only really have from, let's say, 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock to do what I have to do, which 3 hours is really not a lot, but that's all you really get if you still want to get a good amount of sleep. Okay, one last thing, and this is the biggest thing I've noticed, is that Amazon is the most unorganized company I've ever worked for. I noticed this the first week that I started working. It got worse as time went on. This is gonna go in multiple topics, but we're gonna start off with coming into work. Basically, there's this board which tells you which station you're gonna be in for the day. Most of the time it's already done, but you have the other employees that are not on the board. They don't know when they're gonna be overstaffed until we get there. They have too many workers and not enough spots. During this time, it's peak season coming up. They're constantly hiring every single week, which only puts out more people to overstaff. So when overstaffing happens, usually they send out VTO, which is voluntary time off. It's a choice. You could take it or you could stand around and see what work they would offer you to do. What sucks about it is me driving to work 35 minutes just to be sent home and drive that 35 minutes back when they could have just sent out the VTO before we're there, you know? I don't know, they probably have some like reason for it, but I just don't really understand why they do it that way. And yes, I could just stay at work, but here's the thing. I get stuck in the most ridiculous and unnecessary work. There have been many times where I choose to stay because I need the money, and guess what they wanted me to do? If you guys watched my previous vlogs, I've already talked about this, but scraping tapes off the ground, which doesn't sound bad at all, but I had that scraper one day, scraped it, and it is hard to take off. It doesn't like smoothly glides off, and you can't take the tape and like, you know, peel it yourself either, because people walk over it, all those like trucks drive over it, and it like peels off, if you get what I'm saying. Imagine doing that for 10 hours. No thank you. What are some other things that they wanted me to do? Washing harnesses. Never done that, but I was told that and I immediately went back and said, I'll just take the VTO and go home. I don't want to make it sound like I'm complaining, but realistically, if I got the job as a packer, I should be packing, not all these other things that people don't want to do only because you overstaff the days. But yeah, I think that's my biggest problem right now. Ooh, let's not forget, on days where they're already overstaffed, they would send out voluntary extra time and then have more people come and be overstaffed just to send them home, and it just doesn't make sense to me, you know? But yeah, that's really it. That's all I have for my pros and cons. Hopefully this helped you guys out. Peak season is coming up and I don't know how to feel about it. It's definitely gonna be rough. If I were to be honest with you guys, I hated my first 2 weeks, and you probably will too. But after the second week, you kind of get the hang of it and it starts to not be as bad. But overall, I don't know if I'm going to be staying with Amazon. If I could get transferred to like a part-time position, I think that would be the best. If I get transferred to a blue badge, then I could give them my school schedule and they could work around my schedule and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. If you guys have any questions about working at Amazon that maybe I could help out with, make sure to leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys all in my next videos. Bye guys.